Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and today we are going to be changing up our mob spawner just a little bit. So I hope you guys are ready. So as you can see, I've done a little bit of building, but today we have a lot of work ahead of us. As of right now, this mob farm is pretty much shut down. It is running, it is maintaining this, and I do have my meat feeder, and at the time of the recording, it is April 1st, so of course it tells me to press Alt and F4 to cheat this item. Which if you did that, and you did happen to Alt F4 to cheat this item, then lol, that's all I have to say. But anyways, we have tons of pink, lovely pink slime. So I will be taking that. And then over here we have still a bunch of liquid meat. This is pretty much going to get shut off because I'm going to be rebuilding a mob farm. This mob farm is going to be 24 blocks above here. It's going to be in the sky. We're going to have a 9x9 building above us. And that is going to have funnels that are going to lead the mobs visually because I will have these roofs sort of glassed up so we can still see the mobs or try to see some sort of the mobs. There's going to be sort of a pipeline that runs down and spawns them or drops them into a killing chamber that is on all four sides of this. That way we can do sort of experiments. There's going to be sort of a setup like this, except it's going to be a bit smaller on all four sides. Yes, that is what my plan for today is. It's a little bit different. It's not something that's like super efficient, but it's going to be something that should just work and get the job done. About 24 blocks ahead of us, or above us. Filling this area in with a lot of dark glass is going to be needed for this. And then eventually we're going to be expanding, because the reason I want to get these mob farms up and running and get this going as best as possible is because it is going to pretty much bring in a lot of essence. Mobs do drop a ton of essence, and as you've seen from this farm, well, it's not the fastest way to gather this. I do have plans on having full automated setups for mystical agriculture, as you can see by this over here. I eventually want to get just about every crop I can set up in these farms here. Eventually, this is also going to be expanded upon. I need a lot of dirt because I do want to expand these rings a lot further. You can see I'm slowly but surely getting this area lifted up and looking a little bit better. But it is going to take time because, of course, each episode I try to progress a little bit as I go. Speaking of that, I will be using the stripped mineral logs. I think that looks fantastic. And that's going to start right here, right where our lights are at. Which reminds me, I probably need to place lights here then, instead of here. Even though it's probably going to introduce a little bit of mob spawning. Hopefully not too much, though, to our base area. Yeah, I've got to... Did that not... That placed in a weird spot. But there we go. So I have this all running. I wonder what happens... Ooh, if we place a light here. Oh, it still works. We should just have a light here. I'm just going to put lights everywhere. You know, I'm just... I'm loving the lights. Eventually, we are going to tear this down. This right here is going to be fully automated eventually. I will have a setup going for this that will allow me to fully automate the entire ore production and harvesting of stuff. That way we'll just get everything compacted and stuff. As of right now, I'm still dealing with an issue where if I go into this this dimension here, every time I start the game back up or reload the world, I have to break this block and replace it. Otherwise, it will not show my network when I'm back here. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird, but it is a thing that I have to deal with. So yeah, now I can see all my stuff. So let's go ahead and get this this build started. I'm gonna need mineral logs, probably more than what I currently have. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I could probably go ahead and do dark oak. I think I have a lot more dark oak for right now. I can use dark oak at least to get the 24 block height. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, keep counting with me. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, because I always get this question, how far does a mob spawner need to be for it to spawn mobs? Right now we're at 22. All right, so 22, 23, and then at the height of 24 is right around the best height for mobs to spawn. So the next level would be a level for which the mobs should spawn at. And so I can go ahead and extend this up because that's going to be 24. So right here is basically where this needs to go, where our actual spawning platform needs to be. And I'm going to make this a 9x9 area, and we are at the 9. This is going to be a part of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some dark oak stairs, and just to give this a pillar, I'm going to pillar this up into the corners, and I'm going to build these logs up here in the corners. I'm going to make a 9x9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. I think that should be plenty room for most every mob. And then this needs to be continued 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right here is, wait, that's actually wrong, isn't it? This is bigger than 9x9. No, this would be the corner of a 9x9. What am I doing? We don't even need this, even though that looks super cool. I might see about doing something with that. I don't know. But no, the interior is going to be a 9. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so this area needs to be a 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just so used to doing it the other way. And then down here, I have to pillar all the way back up again. So I've been trying to come up with ways to get this to work properly, and I want mobs to spawn here. And I was trying to figure out a way to implement a fan. There is a way to have the fan down 1 block and have it higher. That is an option, but I wanted to think of something a little bit different, and using a conveyor belt gives a use to this conveyor belt for once. I finally have a use for the conveyor belt. Oh, it's kind of nice actually, and this should work. So basically the mob will go up here and then be zoomed out of here. Like, this is just one of the small things that I'm going to set up. I'm actually going to make sure that they all drop here. And to do that, I could use some dark glass just right here. This whole thing's going to be filled with dark glass anyways, but definitely right here. And then I'm going to have some more conveyor belts. This really utilizes a lot of that plastic, by the way. Yeah, these will work here. The rest will be vector plates that'll be pushing the mobs to this point. But I think this is going to work. That's going to pretty much allow for a very consistent method of picking a mob up and making sure they drop here every single time. And from what it looks like, they may potentially stop right on the edge here. Like right here is like the stopping point. So we might end up with maybe a vector plate right here just to make sure that the fan pushes them, because this is the fans are set to the max as far as they can go at the moment. And that is with these upgrades in here. This is from I can show the area, so you can see that's exactly where they are going. And if I can click on it, we have some mob distance fans of 10, and then the width fans, which just basically make it that wide. And yeah, that's how the fans are working. Now I just need to get in here and place down all the vector plates in the proper position. I'm also going to glass this up and make sure everything looks good as far as that goes. And then I also need to extend this. I'm going to shut off all of the levers on the bottom down here. And that will just allow me to work safely so I don't get flung off. But I do need to extend these tunnels a little bit with some more dark glass as well. I definitely want to extend these. So update on the mob farm. Okay, so it is big. It is a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, but good news is it works, I think. All I have to do is turn it off. But first, before I turn the mobs on by shutting the light, you can see this is extended up until the range here, and it's actually perfect. Like, it pushes the mobs like right here. Like, they literally fall like right here in the water. And I have to have the water here because I don't want them to die instantly. I want them to be crushed with the mob crusher. And yes, I did have to go through the process of making these mob crushers. They require the same thing that we've dealt with in the past, the advanced machine frames. And yes, they do take a little bit of time, but luckily I can speed them up with that. So with our time in a bottle, which is kind of nice. Because that's the only downside. Like, the items are not hard to get. We have all the items. It's just waiting that short period of time as you're going, man, I want this item, but you're stuck waiting for it. So I'm gonna get all of these placed in because every single side is going to be working. Now, eventually, we're going to modify this. Well, actually, we're going to do that today. Modify it and make sure we're getting wither skeleton spawns or getting wither skeletons in here. That's going to be something that we're going to do. But we're only going to do it to certain sides. Now, I need to get things into an ender tank and an ender chest. So that also means this side needs to be broken. So we're going to put an ender tank on one side and we're going to put an ender chest on another. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the white here. That should work. Inside here, oh, as you can see, we already have the mob spawning in. That's why I built this wall, just to make sure it was high enough. Because some mobs are still spawning in here. But I need to go on the output, and I need to have one side being... This is the item output, by the way. I want that to be on push on this side, and then the liquid needs to be on push on the other side. So our essence gets pushed over here. I'm going to try my best to get these all equal and all the same. I basically took one setup and I made it way more complicated than it should be, but I'm having fun with it, and that's all that matters. So there's the essence. It's going to be on the push. And all of this is going to be done to the whole side. And while I'm at it, I should probably put the upgrades in here just to increase the range. They are going to get pushed over here, so I'm not too worried about that. But like I said, we're going to be getting wither skeletons to spawn in. That's going to be the fun part, right? Actually, this needs to go over here. Oh boy, I'm already messing up. Ender chest and tank. If this starts to fill up, I'll definitely know that I've done messed up. There we go. I should have put them on the opposite sides from where they're at. But hey, this is working. So things set up, we're looking pretty good. Now, our ender tank can only hold so much essence. I will need a way to store that. I'm not going to worry about that today, but we will get that set up. Now, our chest, we can probably just set that up to automatically import into our system here. I don't see a reason why this couldn't be hooked in. Eventually, I want this to work a little bit better and be a little bit nicer looking. But ender chest, let me go ahead and make another quick ender chest. There it is. Perfect. And then I need an exporter, or I need an importer, because we need to import things into this. So an importer. And then I can just plop an ender chest right about, I guess here. Here should work. Right there. And then slap that on it. Oh, goodness. or have it completely mess up. There we go. Perfect. Now we have an importer, and that's going to start pulling the items and putting them into our inventory. Okay, so with that, I should be able to just about turn this on. But what I actually want to do is I want to bottle up some of this witch water and replace the water on 2 of the sides before we do this. It should be kind of random on how the mobs are spawning, but I just want to see, right? I want to see. Let's go ahead and grab a bucket. Grab 2 buckets here. And I am going to replace the water that's over here. Actually, I probably need to grab a couple of blocks. Yeah, some blocks here. So that'll get rid of the water there. Because I want to place witch water. Witch water will turn skeletons into wither skeletons. So that's a kind of a nice way to get wither skeleton skulls. So luckily enough for me, I do have a nice witch water setup. So I need a few containers of witch water. Now, the problem is I need to avoid stepping in this. Because this stuff is no good for me. It'll actually give me, or it used to give you, the wither effect? Well, never mind. The witch water is not affecting me at all. Oh, I hope it still affects mobs. That would be interesting. It should. I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, this is still a mechanic. It just needs skeletons. And I believe it also can convert other things. Yeah, it converts other things as well. I think like spiders into like poisonous spiders. There's some weird stuff. Like it'll convert vanilla style mobs into certain things. But anyways, I think it's time to turn our mob farm on and like see if this thing even works, right? So to do that, I need to break all of my lights. By the way, I put these in to protect against spiders because I was afraid that spiders were going to walk up on the edge and get stuck because they do that in a normal mob farm. So these are here to kill them. But if we're down here, this should be just the perfect level to start to see mobs potentially spawning. Oh, there went one. Landed in the water. Oh, I'm seeing them. I am actually seeing them get shot through the tunnels. Oh, and then over there we got stuff going. Okay. So. Wither skull fragment. Okay. So that means skeletons are spawning. And they are working. Now I did set this mob farm up so that way later on I could of course include my own mobs. And I don't think that if we're down here, mobs are going to really be spawning up there. Or at least they shouldn't. But yeah, this should definitely kickstart eventually. Sooner or later, it should jumpstart. Now, one thing that I almost forgot, Enderman. I can't have Enderman spawning, so I need an Ender inhibitor to be placed down. I don't think it can be placed down on a half block, so let's see. I mean, I can probably just place some dark glass right above this, so that way we can also kind of see here. Place that, place the inhibitor, make sure it's on. And I think that will prevent it from teleporting through the water. Like, I still want the Enderman to spawn, but the problem is they don't like water, and this is acting as water, so they just immediately teleport out. So my goal is that this is going to prevent that from happening, hopefully. Weird that I have mob drops spawning here. This may have been like a horrible idea to build this thing. I just thought it was kind of fun to build, but still at the same time, like once we get like an actual spawner up there that's actually pulling things in, it might work a little bit better. Of course, having this Enderman that's somewhere over here is not a good thing. I've got to get rid of this dude. So an interesting thing that is happening is creepers become charged, which is kind of a cool thing. Because getting charged creepers for Reliquary is actually a nice thing. Let's see, Reliquary. Yeah, we're getting Eyes of Storm, which is perfect. This is a like late game item from Reliquary. And we just get it. That's super nice. I haven't noticed any Endermen teleporting or anything. But we also have Wither skeleton skulls. We are getting Wither skeletons. And technically, these fragments turn into a Wither skeleton skull. So we now have spooky, scary skeleton, and we can now actually summon. And it's just nice because these are just passively spawning. So as we're working on other things, mobs will just be spawning, and we can just kind of sit back and relax and kind of wait for them to do their thing. Eventually, like I said, we will be able to spawn in mobs. That's where this stuff is coming into play. But I think this mob farm eventually will be converted into a different style mob farm, maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like this is spawning as fast as I thought it was going to. And it's probably something to do with the fact that it's higher in the air. So if we brought this thing down underground, it would probably work a little bit faster, but we'd have to set something up more, I don't know, just a little bit different. Look at the creepers falling, immediately get charged. Oh yeah, and that's working, but it's just not working as fast as I thought it was going to, which is weird. So as always, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to go to Perinkagrung. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I of course try my best, but guys, if you're interested, of course, in becoming a Patreon yourself, of course, you can find that linked down in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. We still have a lot to do in this world, so I hope you join me in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.